Guys, welcome back to another episode of It's a Man's World podcast. This is the first episode back with a guest in a very, very long time. A very, very special person that I met over a year ago and has totally transformed mind, body, business, and just a complete transformation. And today's episode is going to be all about the habits that really make a person or break a person and send you to the next level. And I am so grateful that you're in my life, by the way. I'm so excited for this episode. I feel like it's been a long time. We've been trying to get everything set up. It's never the same when you're not in person with someone, but we're making it work today. So Steph, you take over, introduce yourself for anyone that doesn't know, and yeah, let's get the podcast going.
Thanks so much, Kira. I'm just as grateful to have met you. I remember saying this to you. I remember thinking you were launching something new. I was like, I really hope this is what I think this is. So I'm so grateful to be here. I'm so excited. So I'm Steph. I am an online coach. I met Kira a little over a year ago, and set up my coaching business. And here we are.
A year later, though, totally different person, and just
Yeah.
even how you look, how you show up, your confidence, like you know that instantly straight off the bat. But for anyone that maybe doesn't know, like maybe give them a little bit of background on where your journey kind of started, because I think it's so interesting to see the big shift that you took and maybe why you took it as well, because people will definitely resonate with that.
Yeah. Oh, it's so funny looking back now, isn't it? Because over a year ago, I met Kira and on a call, and I think I had like a hoodie. Did I? I had like a hoodie. I was like, it was dark. I was like feeling all like, what's going on? What am I doing? Like, I was so excited to meet you and talk to you about possibility, about opportunity, about change. Because I was in a transition of changing my life, a lot of things in my life, and I was starting coaching, and I was thinking. I need this. I need someone to help me, someone to guide me, someone to show me the way. I believe that all the time. If you want to learn something new, it doesn't matter what it is, there'll always be someone who's ahead of you, 5, 10, 100 steps ahead of you. Go and find those people and, find your tribe, find your environment of people who can help you. So we met there and I mean, what a journey. I can't believe it. It's
Been
over.
a crazy year, and I think
Mhm.
it's important to touch on the importance too when you take that step and when you meet different people. Like we've become very, very close, great friends, great understanding, and I'm a firm believer that the people that you meet in your life are there for a reason and they come in different chapters. And I feel like for me, for any of you listeners, you know the journey that I've kind of been on. And again, like I divulge and I share a lot, but I don't share like the smaller moments like this. Like people would know, like you're in the mentorship, we're friends, but you don't realize the life transformation and the relationship as well that you bond with someone when you're starting this new chapter, and you wouldn't have done that if you haven't, or you would have been somewhere else. It's not that you wouldn't have done that, but you would have been somewhere totally like different, or some people revert back, and you came from corporate background. So to take that leap, like what was that leap that you took? Because I think that's very interesting to see your transition.
Yes, I spent 10 years working in corporate, working in finance. Um, and I loved it. I did. It taught me a huge amount of things that I'm incredibly grateful for. But I always felt like I had so much more to give. And I just didn't know what it was. And I was sitting there thinking, oh, I don't think this is it. I started to feel a bit stuck.
Yeah.
And even if I was like climbing or changing teams or moving around within it, it just never sat with me that it was feeling right. And I just thought, I have so much more to give, and I need to find what that is. And I think that for me, my purpose is I love to help people. And I wasn't able to do that from behind a desk. So it was more that, like, that's what I was searching for purpose, searching for alignment, something that was for me. And I just started having that feeling of I was stuck there and it wasn't for me. And it's a scary time. That's a scary thought, to think, oh, I don't belong here, and well, what am I going to do about it?
Yeah, and a lot of people sit in the same position because the thought of leaving a salary-based job that's very comfortable, that's secure, that's guaranteed, to take a risk and to step away and be like, what next and how am I going to do this? Like when you're in business, I feel like when you have a calling and you have a feeling like right now, 222 on the clock, it's alignment at its finest. The alignment in the business doesn't shift until the alignment within you makes that change and shift. And I love looking at routines. I love looking at, like mindset and what way like you show up even emotionally or privately for yourself. I'd love to see like when you look back on when you were in corporate and before you took that shift and you were kind of figuring out this by yourself, how long were you actually, I don't actually know this, how long were you in business like with your coaching before you came to me or when you went full time?
I met you in March. No, we joined in March. I met you maybe like January, February,
Yes.
like literally the beginning. Like,
Well,
yeah, literally. No, Kira, wait, I was still in the corporate, right? Am I right in saying that? In the January. And
you
then,
were ready to leave
yeah.
soon.
Yeah, that's what it was. I made the decision of, right, I need a plan. I need to go forward this way. This is what I'm going to do, and I need someone to help me
Yeah.
get me there. So I kept the corporate job because you have to plan these things, you have to
Yeah.
phase it in, and that's what we did. And I was like, I'm going to get on the call with Kira, and yeah.
Crazy, but why? What? Like, I love that because you're a go-getter. You jump on things. We're very alike. We're very different, but we're very alike. We're sporadic. If we feel something, we need to run with the wind right now. Like we jump on a call, and I'm like, let's jump on a call. Let's just talk about it. Like no plan. That's why even with this podcast right now, guys, when you're listening, it's flow. It's natural. It doesn't feel like it has to be premeditated or anything. But like to take that jump and to say, I need help now. Like if you were to sit on the fence and to figure it out by yourself, like where and what does your mindset look like back then in comparison to now today?
Taking the jump in terms of the mindset.
Or in everything that you do with your business mindset wise, like what's been the shift? Like when you look at your mindset when you were at the start, when you were back with me at the very, very beginning and where you are now, like what does that kind of look like for you?
Like that's a full 360, isn't it? Like that's a big transformation.
Yeah,
I suppose like going back then, I would have like the notepad, the pen and paper out. I would have had like every what if scenario. Like what would happen if I did this, or what would happen if I did that? Oh, I don't know about that now. What about this? And now it's like I've already jumped. And I'm like, Kira, I'm after making the jump now. I'm already here. What do we do?
yeah,
We're a bit, I'm going to be brave and I'm going to say a bit fearless
yes.
compared to before, where we're very careful, very cautious. Whereas now it's nice to kind of step into it. It's nice to step in and have that confidence in yourself and that level of self-trust of, you know what, I don't have the answer, but I'm going to figure that out.
Exactly. And we don't do any worrying. We're very, very laid back as well, which I think makes business a little bit easier, I will say, because there's so many people that will sit on the fear side of things, whereas we're like, listen, we jump and you either sink or you swim and you figure it out and paddle till you get to the top. That's kind of how you have to be in business. That's what courage, that's what fearlessness is all about. And I always think about your confidence as well and how much you've come on as a person too. And I feel like you were a little bit maybe disconnected from yourself. You were a little bit like quieter. I feel like you didn't really want to take up much space. And that transition for you, I feel like has just been massive. I think that would be important to show people because they click onto your page and they see that you're confident, you speak out, your body's amazing, you look great, your business is booming, you're great at making food. Like people look at that and they're like, like, oh my God, that's amazing. But that wasn't like that at the start. So how does that kind of develop over time?
I think if I go back to that stuck feeling. So when you feel a bit stuck and when you feel a little bit like I don't belong here and you know you need a change, but it can kind of consume you, right? So you kind of like a shell of yourself. You're
Mm.
not feeling very comfortable, you're not feeling very confident, you're not really feeling aligned with what you're doing. You're not feeling very, I'm gonna say happy. You're not feeling that inside. So it makes you become a little bit quieter. In fact, I might speaking about myself personally, probably a bit miserable. It's hard to kind of step out and step forward when you don't really have anything you want to say because you're a bit of a shell of yourself. Now, it's great to have the awareness. It's great to have the awareness of knowing your stuff. That's great. But for me, it was the step of what am I going to do? So then when I took the step out and started feeling a little bit more aligned, yeah, that was still scary. Like feeling like being visible is scary.
Yeah.
100%. And
Yeah.
it's a big transition. However, when you're doing something where you feel so aligned and you're like, oh, this is where I belong, like this is it, it just it makes you just internally feel so good that you're probably not even noticing that you're being visible. You're just doing what you're doing, and you're ha so happy to be feeling that way and feeling happy and content in yourself that you're just doing. And
Yeah.
it feels really good, and it's a huge transition from feeling like when you're feeling a bit stuck, you can nearly feel like I don't have much to bring to the table here, and I can feel a bit like, I don't know, I'm feeling a bit, in myself. And then when you feel aligned with something, it's like it's easy because it's it's you're just doing what you want to do.
Yeah, that's gorgeous to be seen, to be heard, and to just be you. There was
Yeah.
never, and I think that's the special thing, obviously, about the mentorship is like, I'm not going to tell you what to say, what to do, who to be. You have to figure that out by yourself. And until you
Yeah.
do, your content and your messaging will always come across a little bit different. And it will come across slightly imposter at the start because you're like, this is me, but it doesn't really feel like I can be my true self unless you really like work on yourself, embody that. And that's, I think, where people get a lot, like they get stuck along the way. Um, so many people always say they're starting over on Monday, like we know from clients, we know from everyone.
Yeah.
That's like a big thing. But you know what? I wanted to really touch on habit stacking because I know that's going to be a huge one for a lot of people. Like,
Mhm.
what are some of the small habits or things in your routine
Yeah.
that you ended up changing the most that gave you that transformation as well?
In mindset,
In business and mindset, is
all
there
of it.
anything like in your mind that like kind of sticks out a little bit that you're like, what habits, like what way was your routine a
Mm.
year and a half ago in comparison to the way you run your life or the way you run your week now?
Oh, so interesting, actually, because I was literally only talking to myself when I was on my steps this morning. That's my time for myself. And there's two things that come really to mind. One, and this is the biggest one, really, is the planning and the organizing of the week. I was always kind of like that, like planning and organizing the week. However, it starts with me.
Mm,
Like, what do I need to get done? Like, what do I need to do today? Not what everyone else needs done.
yes.
And that was something that was very difficult for me, very difficult. Like, I was looking at the to-do list and thinking, the things on that list aren't for me.
Yes.
And when you're doing that, when you're showing up for other people, it's a little bit exhausting. And then it also feels like it's digging away a little bit at your self-trust and at your confidence in yourself because you're writing things down that you say you're going to do for yourself. But if you're at the bottom of the list, you're not getting the time to do the thing you want to do for yourself. Now that's eating away at your confidence because, well, you didn't do what you said you were going to do.
Yeah.
You can hear yourself talking to yourself a bit like that. So now planning and organizing the week, but putting in the things that I know now for me that fill up my cup. I cannot show up. I can't show up for other people if my cup isn't full. So it has to start with me and I have to prioritize myself, which was, I have to say, a very, very difficult learning.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I wouldn't label myself as a people pleaser, but I'm gonna be real about it. I probably have been, in the past 100. Everyone's nodding along, being like, she is. Um, so it was very difficult for me. Very difficult. Like the word no is difficult for me, but it's not until I started doing it and then realizing that by prioritizing myself and doing the things that I want to do for me, filling up my cup, I was actually able to fill up their cups too, even better. So
Exactly.
things like my training, like my steps in the morning, the things that make me feel really nice. Again, you have to go on your own journey of your own self-development to know what it is that makes you happy, like what fills up your cup.
I love
And it's
that.
a question I ask my clients all the time, and
Yeah.
there's always silence. No,
Yes.
a lot of people don't know how to answer that question.
Yeah, and I think because you're such a bubbly person, and remember in Dubai when we done the workshop at Harsha, and we kind of really delved deep into what came up. It was like sometimes, and for anyone that's listening, you might feel the exact same way. When you're a very nice person, when you are very caring, when you're very loving, when we are very bubbly, open people, energetically, when you put that out there, people gravitate towards it. They want it. Like we and you, like me and you both, we both feel when you are like the center of something and people feel the energy, they want to latch on, they want to feel what you're feeling, they want to be kind of like you a little bit. And that's such a beautiful thing, but it has to be something that has to be protected. If you're a very bubbly person, if you're very friendly, it doesn't mean you don't have boundaries. And
Yeah.
something we spoke about in Pixie this year was I don't have boundaries anymore. I've got a standard. So the standard is you don't cross this line on me because I also have to show up for myself first. And then you know what, when I do maybe have the time after, that's that's when I can open the door and say you're welcome to come in now. But I think a lot of people that are maybe running businesses right now, like so many other priorities, family, friends, life, relationship, friendships, those things become, you dwindle down and you're kind of solo for a little bit as well. And I think as well, part of your journey and part of that identity shift was you also had to figure that out along the way. How do you kind of find that, not even balance, because at the start you're so excited with the mentorship, you're going all in, but you're starting to shift. So people around you are kind of like, wait, what's going on here? You know?
Yeah.
And I would love to talk about when people don't really understand and they don't really get the vision and they kind of see you shifting and changing and you're starting to put your foot down. No, like I'm sure you experience that. I know you do. So I would love you to share slightly on like a touch of like what's kind of coming up for you there.
It's so difficult.
It is.
Like saying the word no in the first place
Yeah.
and realizing that I need to do that for me because that makes me happy and that's what I love to do. But the other thing, and I think it's a really key thing for me over the last 12 months, and it's helped so much, is just communication. You just have to communicate with people. And another thing for me since January this year, I have this word and it's awareness. I
Mm.
have to have awareness of other people as well. It's not solely about me. There
Mm.
are other people involved. So how can I communicate with those people? And just it's just a sentence of I just need to do this for me first, and then I can do that.
I
Is
love
that
that.
and
Yes.
it's something that it might sound simple, but it's very difficult when you're the kind of person like me who's like, no problem. Yeah, no, that's no problem. So I do that automatically. So then it's like, wait. I hear myself doing it now. If someone asks me a question, I say, wait. What do you want though? What
Yeah.
do you want to
Yeah,
do?
because it's understanding. Because also
Yeah.
with how you perceive things, some people won't really understand it. And then I think this is just like emotional maturity too, and it comes alongside business. A lot of people that don't have emotional maturity, their business is in this spiral effect because they're constantly agitated, they're constantly fired up, they're always reactive. We speak about like first thing in the morning, not going on your phone straight away, and I can be a devil for that because I'm behind on time as well. But if I want to be proactive instead of reactive, we know what way our day goes. We know what way the phone goes. I always say, together, we'd say, what did you expect?
Yeah.
You
It's
know,
exactly
what
what
did
you
you
asked for.
expect? Exactly. What did you expect when you sign up to your program and you're trying to help them get out of like binging cycles or food? And that's obviously a big thing that you touch on is your food and your recipes and the discipline side of things. I would love, because I know a lot of girls would be listening, how do you connect the making food enjoyable, easy kind of things to cook, along with you can still enjoy your journey, but there is a balance of discipline because you make great food, and I would love to know like how do they not go overboard on like the craziness of the excitement of the recipes and all
So we do a few things. The one thing we do is we take pictures and we send them. So we have
that.
loads of fun. Then, like on a Saturday night, we have fake away night and we all take a picture, we send it over and we just get a bit of a buzz going. And then when there's a picture, there's that sense of accountability too. It's like, well, either like I do or don't want to do this, I actually have to now because I have to send the picture.
Yeah,
But like
yeah,
we have very fun with it anyway.
right.
And then the other thing that is really important to me as well, and this is just my view on food in general, I love how food brings people together. Like,
Mm,
have you ever been to like a barbecue or you're at family dinner? I love it. And it is one of the most powerful, beautiful things we can all do. So I have that in mind every time when I'm coaching and when someone comes to me and they have a family, like the meals now need to be designed on togetherness. Like what's everybody eating? What are we all having? So then you have bigger portions, right? But everyone's being fed with it. So it just divides it out. So that's something that I'm really passionate about is the change of it, like being excited about it, weekend things that we've got going on, and then the togetherness. I always have that in mind when families come in, everyone's eating the same food. And I love that. I love nothing more when someone texts me and said, oh my God, my son won't eat this, but now he's loving having this because we've disguised it by putting it in this way. And it's just something I'm massively passionate about. I love it in my own house. I love when everyone's in that kitchen and we're all around the cooker and we're all having great. And like you can nearly distract people, Kira. Like the kids, they don't know what they're having. They're just delighted we're all there chatting,
yeah.
and it's brilliant.
That's gorgeous. I love that the togetherness because it is, and food never has to be something that you have to feel guilty about or like you have to shame it. I think women understand the balance of things.
Sorry, sorry, I missed what you said. Sorry.
Sorry. I said women understand the or misunderstand the balance of things, and
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
how do you kind of do that programming wise for maybe someone that's listening right now and they want
Mhm.
a little bit more of a touch of like, I'd love to have those sweet things, but how much do you have of it and stuff? How do you kind of help women see like the difference between the two?
Okay, so Monday to Friday, this is how we do it. We
Tell
have a
me.
bit of structure
Right.
because we're busy. Busy, busy, busy. We're busy in the house, we're busy with kids, we're busy with work. We have like 9 to 5, whatever's going on. So it's always designed around the busyness of your schedule. So it just slots in really nicely. We don't want any stress, any overwhelm. We don't want people coming and say, oh, I don't know how to do that. That's going to take me too long to cook that. So it's very important that we look at that as the whole journey as a whole. What way is your day? Like, how busy are you? So you slot things in that are fun, right? You have like overnight oats, raspberry, white chocolate, they're divine. And then in the evening times, we all have snacks. We all have a snack.
Yeah.
Love a snack.
Love a
So they're
snack.
there in the evening time, and we just balance it out that way. So we have meals, really nice meals, snacks. We might put chocolate like in the oats as well, things
Mm.
like that. We're just
Yeah.
balancing. So we balance it off the same concept all the time of protein, carbs, fats, and we just teach that as we're going. And then on Saturdays, takeaways, and then we have it's very popular actually, the Nutella protein pot. It's basically a yogurt pot with like chocolate. We just have fun with it. We have the balance of everything that we need
Gorgeous.
in the bowl. That's what we're doing. And we're just having fun with
And
it.
it's never that deep and you can make it
Mm,
enjoyable and people think it has to be so
yeah.
serious. It's like it
Mm,
doesn't. And also as well, things in business are fun if you make it fun. But when you make it
absolutely.
stressful, it's stressful. When you make food stressful, it is stressful. So it's
Yeah.
like I always say you choose the emotion that you put on things. So you
Yeah. Yeah.
choose what you want to feel. So if you want to
Mm,
wake up and you want to be like, oh my God, it's Friday and all I'm thinking about is food noise, you've put that emotion on it
mm,
instead of saying,
yeah.
it's Friday, it's fake away night, what are we going to the shop to get? We love a
Yeah.
fish pie day around here. Like, I'm the
Yeah.
same, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it gets exciting about different days.
Yeah.
You don't have to. It's your choice, I feel, on the way you program your mindset and label things for
Mm,
yourself when it
yeah.
comes to your food, you know? So I do think, like, any women that are listening, it is
Mm,
important to know that the habits that you have, the mindset around food, it doesn't have
yeah.
to be guilt, it doesn't have to be shame. And there's so many controversial things out there online right now. And I know you're like really big on like the gut and the health and
Hmm.
very kind of organic whole foods, and when you look at recipes you're like, oh my God, but the things and how you make them, like even like flour Greek yogurt is a pizza, and like
Yeah.
me, that's like my highlight. Even though I will mess the place up, there will be flour everywhere, I will
Me
try it, but it starts to help me make things like a little bit more enjoyable. So I love
too.
that side of things. I know there's so much online about food and coaching, but I really wanted to make this podcast all about you and your journey, your visibility, and just like give you kind of the spotlight that you deserve with how much you've done for yourself, you know, like you're a totally new person.
Mm.
And I just know every time I think about your page and when I think about what I see from on the outside, it's like, oh my God, she's amazing. How does she do that? But like, you weren't always there. And I think it's so important to be so honest with people. And I love to know, like, when you make that investment, whether it's going to be someone signing up to the program, whether it's going to be someone signing up to your coaching, whatever it is, did you ever at any moment have a hesitation in your mind where you were like, oh, I'll have to think about it? Or why did you feel like you needed to jump straight away?
Into the mentorship.
Yeah. Like for
Uh,
your business, like what? Because I know there's so many people that are like, oh, like I'll try and figure it out by myself. I'm only at the start. Like, what made you kind of jump straight away when it was so new?
I'm always the kind of person who you know this about me. I have no problem with putting my hand up and saying, help me.
Yes.
I'm not the kind of person who I don't want to figure it out by myself. I always admire people who are 10, even 100 steps ahead of me, and I want to know how they did it. And if they are that far ahead of me, the only way I can do that is by talking to them or joining in the mentorship. So when I've always admired how you run your business and how you carry yourself, you're such a beautiful person. And when I saw what you might be launching, I knew. Don't ask me how I knew, but I knew. And I was like, fully stalking. I was like, I need to know what this is because I'm like, I was signing up before I even knew what it was.
You were the first
So,
person that was texting about it, and you were like, "Are you doing a business thing? I really hope you are." And I think I said a long time before, I was like, "You'll see soon," but you knew, you had a
yeah.
feeling. But I think that's so honest as well because ego can step in, and most people try and figure everything out by themselves. I have a mentor. I like having a coach. I need someone to turn to too. I'm not just this person, but like if you look at success and you look at successful people, like I said, like last week, I'm studying millionaire billionaires. What are their habits like every day? Are you doing the same things, talking to the same people, listening to the same things, going to the gym same time? Like, could you go a little bit earlier? Could you be better with your time? Where could you like put a little bit more into your day that at the end of the day you can switch off? Because like you have to really, if you want to scale and build a life that you've never imagined, you have to look at tiny little things in your time, in your routine, in your slot, and you have to self assess a lot. And a lot of people don't want to self assess because the people around you don't maybe self assess too, that they don't need to do that because it's all about you. But like, time isn't going to be the same. People won't get the best out of you in this position. You're not going to be available for everything. That's also a very scary part for people because I think when you're codependent or if you are very used to being around people, you will naturally want to kind of play a little bit smaller because you don't want to lose that connection or those people. But I think that comes right back down to communication and just saying to someone like, I'm really locked in on this right now and I need to do this for me. And also don't take things personal.
Yeah.
People take things personal in business. It's not that deep, but like you have to be very selfish, don't you? You do. Like selfish but selfless too and thinking
Yeah.
about other people too.
100%. And I think that that's probably the biggest learning over the last 12 months is that all of it in every part of the business is self-development. It's about you.
Yeah.
And if I don't know how to do it, I need to ask someone to help me or and like every part of the business. And I think that that's a very important thing as well as a business owner. You have to say quickly as well. Like we always say that if you're going to fail, do it quickly and learn from it and say, I actually don't know how to do that. So I need to hire someone to help me do that. If you can't, you could spend 6 months wasting time trying to figure it out, but you don't know how to do it.
100%. You have to move quick. In
Mhm.
business, the only difference between someone that's a millionaire and a billionaire is the people that are the billionaires moved at the speed of light, regardless of whether they knew they failed, they jumped back up, they fell over their shoelace again and they went again, right? And that's just like the difference of the people that jump. And like I know there's hesitation, I know there's different things that will always come into play, but like you really have to shut off the brain and just be like, listen, what's the worst thing that's going to happen? Are you telling me that signing up to a program, a course, buying this, doing that for myself, I'm not going to see some sort of positive impact on my life? And if your mind is saying no, you're absolutely crazy in my opinion. You are. You're crazy. But do you know
Yeah.
what? I really want to look at one question that's kind of come up for me
Yeah.
now when we're talking about it. Did you ever feel like you were hiding before and how did you, because a lot of people will have the fear of being seen.
Big
And that
time.
was something that you were like being seen, being heard, small town mentality, Ireland, Cork, whatever. Like, what kind of really made you say, I actually don't care anymore about people or what they're going to say? Or was that still something that you struggled with? Because a lot of people won't will resonate to that.
Oh yeah, I remember. Do you remember the call we had? And we were talking about like the gym gear. And I was like, oh, I'm not going outside in
Yes.
my gym gear. I was like, take a
Yes.
crap in my gym gear.
Yeah.
You were like, you're a coach, Steph. Why aren't you wearing gym gear? I
Yeah,
was
and
like,
Steph, your body is amazing. What do you mean? You were like, oh no, you wouldn't be going around the shops or going out in a crop top or shorts. And I was like, wait, what? And I would never have thought that because like your physique is insane. Like, what is that flicked for you that you were like, nah, not anymore?
oh, definitely the learning, the confidence of you just have to do. What's the worst case scenario? Play it in your head. All right, someone's going to say something. All right, who cares?
Yeah,
You just
they're going
have
to
to do
say
it.
something anyways.
Yeah. And you just have to go and you just have to do it and then say, oh, that wasn't that bad. I survived actually. No one said anything.
It's never
Someone
that
actually,
deep.
someone actually asked me where I got it. Someone asked me, where'd you get that gym set? And you're like, oh, it's actually grand.
Honestly, it's never that deep. And you know what? You could go out in a plastic bag covered up and they'd say, she must be pregnant or she's putting a bit of weight on. Or you could go out in your belly top shorts and they will still have something to say. So you may as well do it anyways. I actually listened to a gorgeous reel the other day, and he was like facing his back walking away, and he was like, all the people in the comments, all the people that are following you in 100 years' time were all just dead and washed away, and no one will ever hear, see, or know about us. Yes, maybe if you've left an impact, but none of us will be here.
Yeah,
Like, we literally will not be on this planet.
yeah.
That's mind blowing to me.
It does. And I think as well when we're coaches as well, and nothing, it's the purpose of it, like nothing lights me up more than the message on my phone and someone's having like the best day and like, oh my God, Steph, guess what I did? I just did this and it makes my soul so happy. And then it's like, right, well, I have to lead now, like for them,
Yeah,
I have to show up and do that for them. I have to be in the gym in my sports bra because they're following me, like not following me. You know what I'm trying
yeah.
to say?
Looking
And
at
then
you
like,
and they're
yeah.
inspired by you. Yeah.
Yeah, and if I'm trying to help them do that, then I have to do that.
Yeah.
And that helps massively because it's like, okay, I'm in this mindset now of I'm helping people by doing that. It's not a bit, oh, someone's actually said that to me recently, not recently, a few months back, and it was so good. And it was like, you're worried about what people are going to think, but it's not about you. It's about the person who's actually consuming the content and how it makes them feel. And if it makes them feel like they're going to go into the gym and take off their top and have their sports bra on, then more to it. Like, let's do more of that.
Yeah.
And when you remove yourself and say, it's actually not about me, like let me wear my gym shorts down to the coffee shop and then someone else say, oh, I'm going to do that because I saw her doing that. Why not more power to the positivity of it?
Exactly. Instead of the negative side of things, where if you are to do it and someone's like, the state of her, oh my God, why? Like, that's a reflection of you. So always remember
Yeah.
when people say something bad, it's because something inside of them is not doing too good. I actually had such a beautiful comment yesterday, and he had said to me, "I just want to let you know." And I was like, "Oh my God!" I was like, I'm on my period, so we're a little bit emotional." And I was like, "Oh my God, that really made me feel like that's so lovely to say to someone." And he was like, "Do you know what?" He was like, "Do you know?" I was just thinking, and I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "If anyone ever doesn't like you or hates you, Kira, they have a real bad problem." And I literally was like, wait, and I kind of looked and I was like, what do you mean? And he was like, because he was like, you're just so hard to hate and so easy to love.
Oh, that's so nice.
And I was just like, that has really sat with me. Like, it would be hard not to love you or like you as a person. And I'm like, you know what? I wish people, and like, I don't really get much hate, like, neither do you. We don't really put that energy out there, but there will be natty comments when you girls or whoever's listening right now is on a journey. There's going to be times when you feel a little bit doubtful and when you feel a bit like, oh my God, I am changing. And it won't feel good at the start. I just want to let people know change is scary. Change doesn't feel good. But when we're looking at your journey overall, and when we're looking at success, and when people think success and they think, because we're talking about the mentorship and business right now, they think money. But
Mhm.
I want to know, like, what does success mean to you right now? The money is a big part of it. Sorry, we're going to put our hands up and say it. Yes, it is. And you have to be okay with saying that too. But what does success mean to you?
It's my purpose. It's my feeling aligned with my life and the vision that I have for myself, and showing up to be that person, to be that woman who I know I can be. That's my success. It's just saying who I want to be and doing it and being her and having that purpose of helping so many more women. I think everyone should feel that way. Everyone should feel amazing in who they are as a person, in their confidence, showing up for themselves. It just is the best feeling ever. And that's what success looks like for me. It's happiness in my life, alignment with my purpose. And yeah, that's it very, you know me with the financials. I'm like, give me the alignment.
Yes, a coffee. 12 something, no problem. Did no one else, everyone else is complaining about the coffee and the price of inflation, and me and Steph are just like, it is what it is. If you enjoy the simple pleasures of life, like going for a
Yeah,
coffee or treating yourself to a massage, and it's over a certain price and you're really
yeah,
worried and scarce about it, I promise you, you're blocking yourself from
yeah.
endless abundance and opportunity coming back into you. And again, that obviously comes when you do start earning and you start seeing the fruits of it coming back. But you have to be able to spend in order to get it back to yourself 10x.
Yeah,
You
totally.
do. You have
Yeah.
to be able to spend. You have to be able to
Mhm.
invest. You have to drop the fear of, oh my God, I'm going to lose all that money. You're going to lose it regardless because you're sitting on a lot of potential and untapped potential too. And that's the problem with most people. We will listen back to this podcast in 8 years' time, 10 years' time, 2 years' time. We always have ideas. We're always bouncing off each other. And I think that the togetherness that you spoke about with food, that togetherness as women in business is the most powerful thing that you can ever have when you've got sisterhood, when you've got women that are uplifting, when you're also very positive and energetically putting that out there, you are going to feel that tenfold coming back. And I love episodes like this because I know when women are listening, like they also have the potential to do this. We are just living proof that like we used to listen to people that like and also still do and always learning from people that are steps ahead and women that are supporting. We're like that is us, like the suits and this that and like here we
Yeah.
are today, you know, and whether that's in
Yeah.
person, whether it's online, you have to be able to dream bigger, feel more. And a lot of people will ask, why do you want more? Why do you want to feel more? Why do you want to impact more? Like, what would your answer be to that? Like, because a lot of people will say, like, why? Why would you want all that?
Oh, because like if you can help 10 women to feel like they've transformed their whole life, to feel how I feel and feel just so happy in themselves, why would you not want 1 million women? Why would you not want them all to feel that way? You
Yes.
know, and it's such a powerful feeling when you show up for yourself, you're confident in yourself, you feel you just trust yourself, you
Mm.
know, in who you are as a person, and why would you not want more and more, as many as you possibly could, to feel that way about themselves? Why would you not?
Yeah, and I think the discipline in your lifestyle, the discipline in your food and your training, it leads into business. And when you see people that are operating at higher levels, they're very disciplined in the most amazing way. I was talking to a girl, and she was a girl that does my lashes. She's actually Jewish, and I was asking her like, where? What? I didn't know this until I came to the States. Why are Jewish people all so rich, right? And she was like, that's a great question. And I was like, no, really? Like, is it inheritance? Is it? And she was like, you're disciplined from a young age on your religion, what you believe. You're disciplined on your money, how you spend it. You're disciplined on education. And that makes all of those people, regardless of if it's inheritance or whatever, that discipline has led majority, 80 or more percent of Jewish people to be rich, right? So it's your environment, it's what you're brought up around. But when you're not brought up around that, I'm going to be so honest with people, you have to reprogram yourself. You have to die literally every single time. You have to feel so uncomfortable that you're like, this doesn't really feel that right now. And I think part of your identity has to die too. Like, what part of your identity had to die for you to grow?
Oh, definitely the people pleasing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if I look back on that now, I was exhausted just doing things for other people. And it's mad when you think like I'm asking myself questions like, oh, they won't like me now if I don't do that. But I had no interest in doing that. You
Yes.
know, and like it's kind of like if someone said to you, "Oh, Steph, you should set up an Instagram page and you should call it this and you should do gymnastics," and I'd be like, "Oh yeah, grand," just because I'm a people pleaser, right? I'd be like, "Yeah, grand," but like it would be really obvious that that's not what I'm supposed to do. You wouldn't see it, you wouldn't get the energy, you wouldn't get it. But when you step into who you are
Yeah.
and you share that energy, and
Mm.
that energy comes back to you, that's really beautiful. And it's not until you start to fill up your own cup and do the things. It's very uncomfortable, by the way. Like it's awful. Like
Honestly,
there's so
it is.
many times.
It's not
It's
a
like,
nice feeling, and it is
no,
it's a lonely journey at the start, isn't it?
yeah, it is. And I always said that I feel like there is so many people who are like really successful or anyone who like runs their own business and stuff. But I genuinely do feel like there isn't enough people who say, listen, this is going to be really hard.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
promise you it's going to be worth it, but it's very hard, you
yeah.
know, and you're looking at like your whole life, literally your programming, your habits, the way you are as a person, and you're talking about completely transforming that
Mm.
into new habits, which is fun, but it's also very difficult. It's very hard.
It is, and it is the most rewarding thing. But you won't get the byproduct and the result until you take the action. And it's not over. It's not there right there. It's on the other side after you do the thing. It's like confidence. It comes
Yeah.
after you do the thing.
Yeah.
Is there anything besides the people pleasing that you feel like was keeping you small?
Yeah, probably like visibility
Okay.
or feeling like I feel like I'd be stupid if I said something. Confidence probably. Like, oh, no, I couldn't say that, or I couldn't record a video of me talking doing that, or and it's not like you said, it's not until you do, but it's also for me because that's my alignment and my purpose. It's not until you realize you're helping someone. So when you realize you're helping someone, it helps you then to keep going because it's all you want is for someone to feel like they're in their purpose and their alignment and feeling amazing in themselves. And when someone starts to say that to you, it's like, all right, okay. Like, so it's definitely confidence, people pleasing, um, overthinking, stressing, worrying.
For no reason, by the way. It's never that deep, ever.
Yeah.
It's never that deep, and we make
Yeah.
it so deep, and you're just like, wait, I all of it matters, but none of it matters.
100%.
Does it matter? It never does. So like the people are just so tight with their money, they're so tight with fear. And obviously there's so much out there that people just don't trust anymore. But I
Yeah.
really do feel like when you know someone is a real person, genuine, authentic, what they do is what they say, they walk the walk, they practice
Yeah.
what they preach, you can't not trust it. The living proof is the living proof of what you see in the 3D world. That's what it is, you
Yeah.
know. And I just love like bouncing ideas like this. Like it just be always so natural flow. Like when we have conversations and we have like the podcast and all these questions that we want to come up. Like I love kind of finishing out the episode with like maybe anything at all. I'm not even gonna say it's a question right now. I just want to know like if you could see yourself in 3 to 5 years time, what's one thing that you would be, because I don't want to know your vision, but I want to know what's one thing that you would be if you could look back and say, right, okay, you're 5 years ahead and you look back, what's one thing that you're going to tell yourself right now that she needs to hear?
Mm, I think that you can have it all.
Mm,
Sometimes I think that for me to have this, then I have to sacrifice that, or that I can't do this and I can't do that. But then I'm just thinking, just let it flow and it'll all work itself out. You can have it all.
gorgeous. You can have it all. Absolutely. I love that. And do you have anything else that you want to share? Do you have any questions for me that you want to ask as we're coming kind of to the end?
Well, let me ask you. I like it. We have a list.
Go on.
I suppose from your eyes over the last 12 months, what is it that you think is my biggest transition? Like what are you like transformation? What are you like, oh, without a doubt, it's like that. Like it's totally different.
Okay. I'm going to say the first thing that comes to mind without me even thinking is confidence.
Mm,
And I say that because as your mentor, as a great friend, I noticed at the start that you were very adaptive to the things that I was saying. So I would send out um, things to do and you would have it done the next day. I would have notes on presentations and I would kind of sometimes have to push people a little bit to write stuff down or like everyone needs a little nudge. I always felt like you were very like you would always give me 100% in the calls. You would always give me 100% in your energy, and I think that confidence and that 100% that you had that trust in me that I was going to get you with a guide and a helping hand. You done the work, by the way. I was just the compass. That's all it is. And I don't like to take praise for what I have done. I've helped in a way where I've ignited a light and I've helped you believe in yourself more, have self-trust, have confidence. Look at your friendships, your relationships, your everything overall, your money, your financials, everything. Your whole life has totally shifted and changed, and we've got to also know each other on a deeper level. And a lot of people think that you can't really have that bond with people because it crosses the line, and I never felt like that with us. And I always seen such a star, is what I'm gonna say, in you and what you could do. And all I did was put the mirror up in front of you, and that's when I think that word confidence comes to me. That's the overall word that I would say, that like put it up in front and you say to me you're the most beautiful person, and you've got such a good heart, and that's exactly how I feel about you. And you also, side note of business and your own transformation, you came into my life at a very um hard time when I lost someone that was very, very close to me, and I felt very alone, and like it was like nearly meant to be that it was like a shift where when one door closes for people, a lot of people keep knocking on the same door because they want to keep going back. And for you as well, and for me, I feel like that door opened and closed, and your life door slammed. This door opened for me, and we both kind of met in the middle. And I think for anyone that's listening and knows, and when you look at your page and when you see what you've done and the rebrand and your confidence, no matter what I say, you take that advice on board. And I think that's like such a special thing because you're always wanting to learn more, you're always open to change, you love creativity and ideas and just putting it to work and putting it to action. I speak about action every single day, nearly on all my posts, on my stories. People that take the action are the ones that see the result. You are that person. So for me, I think it's confidence, action, and then I'm gonna say evolution.
Love that.
So
Thank you so much.
that,
It was
yeah,
make sense. Thank
no,
you.
that just came flow. You see, that's just what came literally off the heart because I do really feel like that with yourself. And anyone knows my mom and every Irish woman and mom is very, very honest. And every time I get on a call, she's like, Steph is doing it. Doesn't Steph look great? She looks amazing. Jesus, what are you doing with Steph up there? And I'm like, I'm not doing anything. You just believe in yourself now. And I also think you see yourself.
Yeah.
I
And
don't
I
think
love
you
that you
see in
said that
yourself. Yeah.
about the mirror because I've
Yeah.
always said that about you. I don't think that like you understand the powerfulness that you have. Like you're saying like I just put up the mirror, but that's really such a beautiful thing to do for another woman. You
Yeah.
know, like you're holding up the mirror and saying, "Look at you."
Yeah.
Like look at you. Like and it's I feel very emotional, but
Yeah.
it's something that like transformed my life because it also made me feel seen. It made me feel like someone was right there holding my hand, supporting me on the whole journey,
Mhm.
and someone as beautiful as you. And I'm so incredibly grateful for it. And I couldn't agree more with everything you said. I literally feel like we were absolutely supposed to meet each other.
Yeah.
Um, and just thank you so much.
You're so more than welcome. We're going to have our little moment after this call and after the podcast. But no, I want to say I'm so proud and yeah, absolutely. This is all about you, your spotlight. And I
Thank you.
always want to say as well, um, when you help other people shine, it doesn't dim your light.
Yeah,
And I never used to be. I used to always want to see people do well. It's like been something that I've been like since a young age. And I always felt like even in school, if there was anyone sitting by themselves, or if someone wasn't included, or if they were a little bit shy or insecure, I would always want to make someone feel good. And
yeah,
that's just like in my bones. Like I always want others to feel good, but if anyone else is feeling like that's them too, don't forget you can't help someone shine with their utmost light unless you feel that for yourself too. So it all starts with yourself. But
yeah,
what a beautiful podcast. What an inspirational story. This is definitely only the beginning too. And I can't wait to actually sit back, listen to it. And I want to know as well, like in a year's time on the 29th of May next year in 2027, like can you imagine where we're going to be?
I'm excited is all I'll say.
That's all we'll say. But guys, no, thank you so much for listening, Steph. Thank you for sharing and being so honest as well. I'll leave Steph's Instagram below. If anyone has any questions, you can pop them on the YouTube channel or over onto each Instagram if you do have any questions. But thank you so much for listening. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you on the next one.
Thanks so much, Kira.
Thank you.